This is Beate Chelette, and I have talked about her so many times, and now she is here. Woot, woot. This is my daughter, Gina Chelette.
Hi.
And I talk a lot about sexual harassment and sort of conversations I've had when I was 20, that I had when I was 30, that I had when I was 40. And I am still having them to this day. So I wanted to just share, with you what somebody who looks like this is going through on a daily basis. So when I say sexual harassment, what do you say?
Oh my God, how many times? Countless, countless. Probably started when I was around 12 years old. People in their cars and their trucks would start honking at me or like follow me down the street, things like that. So it started pretty early on because I developed early on. I was this tall and this full figured at that age. So that was a blessing and a curse, unfortunately. It just continued throughout my life, through elementary school, through middle school, through high school. I remember going to a party, and I was wearing a skirt, and there was a guy that just felt underneath my skirt as I walked by, and when I looked behind me, there were just like four really big, tall dudes just staring at me, and I had no idea who put their hand under my skirt or why they thought that's appropriate or okay. And then even to this day, I remember when I was walking down the street to go pick up my car from the auto body shop. It was a Sunday. It was in front of a church.
In front of the church.
In front of the church on Washington, right here in Culver City. On a Sunday afternoon, lots of cars going by. And this guy he couldn't have been more than like 17. He didn't even have his friends around him. I have no idea why. But he just came up behind me, both hands, grabbed my butt, and then just sprinted off. Before I even realized what would happen, I didn't even get the chance to chase him because it shocked me for a second because again, why is someone feeling like they can put their hands on me or why that's acceptable? Why they feel like they have the opportunity to do that.
That's crazy. And then you are also a part-time hostess. Share some of
Yes.
the things that happened to you as a hostess. Because, where do we even begin?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've hostessed at quite a few restaurants now as a supplemental income, and a lot of them have bars attached, and especially when men drink, they tend to get even more inappropriate. I remember this one gentleman. He was probably like in his 60s or so, fairly wealthy, so he thinks he can do whatever he wants. The kind of guy that parks his very expensive car in front of the restaurant kind of thing, and he's looking at me. He looks me up and down. He's like, I could just fucking eat you. And I'm like, excuse me? He's like looking like that, like I could do all the, and I'm at work, like I'm actually on the clock, and they know that I can't really say, F off because I'm working and it's my job to be pleasant. So it's almost like they feel like they can take advantage of that because I can't really do anything about it. I can't really fight them or do anything. And even when I tell managers about it, they're like, oh yeah, that's how he is, but now he has a girlfriend, so we'll just tell her about it, or they just joke about it. No one does anything or takes it seriously.
So if you had one message now for all the men that are listening out there that are looking at you and say, wow, that's a hot little cutie, what would you like to say to them?
Keep your hands off. It's not for you. I've never met a woman that was like, I'm going to wear this, so I hope some guy harasses me and grabs onto me today. That's never happened. I know that I dress for myself. I wear clothes that I like to wear. I do not dress for a man. It's kind of like that thing where people ask you, who do you think you're dressing for? Me. I'm dressing for myself. I'm not wearing this for a man. It's not for you. So yeah, if I'm at the club even, and I am wearing a nice dress, it's still not for you. Don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. You know what I mean? First get my consent. And if I'm not even down for you, please just stay away.
And if somebody, what would be a good way to ask your permission to pursue you? What would be an appropriate?
Well, they have to approach you and have a conversation with you. Some attempts are more failed attempts. I was just telling my mom about when I was at the mall this weekend. The guy at Jamba Juice, when he asked for my name, I said it was Gina. And he said, oh, like Gina, but pronounced differently?
Oh, God.
Why?
What do you say?
Why?
What do you say?
I was just like, why? And I literally looked at him and said, no, not really, because I'm a person, not genitals. And he really didn't know, what to say. He tried to kind of play it cool and stuff, but he still, didn't make my smoothie the appropriate size. So he kind of effed that one up. I wasn't very much a fan. This other guy at the mall comes up to me. I have a mermaid tattoo. He says, "Oh, is that Beauty and the Beast?" Okay, if you don't have your Disney characters together, please do not approach me. Do not waste my time if you don't know the difference between a mermaid and a beast.
Yeah.
I literally could not even
really
look
bad.
at him. I was just dismissed immediately. He just had to go like, "Oh, damn. Oh, okay."
Total fail.
And just like walked away because that was the end of that conversation. So please come correct, first of all. And second of all, make sure,
make sure it's original.
we usually let you know if we're kind of into you. We'll look at you and check you out. I mean, I feel like I'm very obvious. If I'm really into someone, you'll know.
So eye rolling is not into you.
No,
Eye
I
rolling.
would not take that as a positive signal.
No, very good.
Absolutely not.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
You've heard it from the babe's mouth. It is.
It's a tough world out there.
It's a tough world out there for girls, and there's nothing she does to look like this. I promise you, she came out this way. So it is not an invitation for you to go pursue her without her permission.
Amen,
and
Mom.
that stands for all the women out there.
Preach
Thank you,
that.
darling.
Absolutely. Anytime.